Okay, recording this video on Saturday, the 22nd of February 2025, just gone 8:55 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market recap. We'll go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Well, Friday, 100 points to the downside on the Emini. That was big. Trending moves always end up at the extreme, closed on the lows, and that's not good. I think we're going to go through some cyclical weakness for quite a few days now because we've had some patterns show up, particularly on the higher time frame charts on the Emini. So let me show you that. We will start with the daily chart here. A reminder, we're still, in my mind, we're still in an uptrend, and we're just going to go through some weakness until we find the next level where the professionals pick it up. The reason for that is blue professional bars on the lows, We have not had blue professional bars on the highs taking profits. We ran out of steam here. We had a flush pattern at those highs, and cyclically it was also a pullback trend of trend on the intermediate time frame. We kept on having pullback trend of trends on the lowest time frame. We bust through that. Last time we had pullback trend of trend on the intermediate. We just had a little bit of weakness, and then we kept on busting up through there. And this time the pullback trend of trend on the intermediate ended up with a strong down day. So it's unlike these other patterns where we just fussed around a little bit. That was a strong move down. You can see on the cyclical patterns on better sine wave, that's that resistance in terms of the low and the intermediate time frame come together here. We've got to work this energy out on the downside. So it's going to be a few days of trouble, both on the low and the intermediate time frame, for all of that energy is done on the downside. So I don't know what that means, whether we start breaking some of these important levels, whether it means there's a little bit of a cascade happening where people panic out. So I don't know. All I can see is that is cyclical resistance on those two time frames, and that energy has to, and the time that we have to spend getting down to negative 100 has to work itself out. 45-minute chart here. There's this pullback to end of trend. Now, it would be nice if the code all synced between time frames, but we didn't get a nice little end of trend on this lowest time frame. This chart still looks like we're making support to resistance, but that's what should have printed there, a little end of trend with this energy here. That should have come up to plus 100 and have a end of trend print at the top there. Not sure why it didn't kind of print. All I can say is the code is good. It triples up from each time frame and so on, but sometimes digital signal processing of cycles, sometimes they don't actually line up perfectly on different charts. But anyway, you can see the resistance that we found on the low, on the intermediate, and on the highest time frame there, and that's why we got the weakness that we had on Thursday into Friday. Now, last place that we had blue professional bars come in here was, it's only about 80 points away. It's not all that far. And if that cracks, that's not too good. We've got exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, flush happening here. We've got to do a lot of work to save it in this area and then push back up. What I'm worried about is the amount of time that it takes to do that. That's what we're talking about here with these cyclical crosses. That's got to take some days to work itself out. Not to say there's not going to be rallies that will be playable. It's not going to be a straight move down. And let's see if on the lower time frames where we can see some areas where the blue professional bars come in. So here we go. So here's the 45-minute chart, next time frame down. Blue professional bars on the lows, and they've come in on at the close on Friday. Yep, we've got all those cyclical patterns come together. Big things happen at triples, sign of weakness. We drop through support into a trending move on the way down. So we've got to play out this energy, but this is the area that needs to hold between 30 and 59.50. So what is that? 80 points difference here. We've got a cyclical support in due on the intermediate time frame. That might hold us for a little bit of a bounce on Monday. But let's see. Blue professional bars, no exhaustion patterns on the way down. 15-minute chart. Okay, here we go. At the highs, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. We dropped with the cyclical pattern. The blue professional bars come in and then they fail, and we drop into a downtrend here with the background in grey. More blue professional bars come in here, but the reading in terms of better momentum is neutral at 2000. We need to get to a reading that will be similar to these type of readings to trigger exhaustion sell on the downside. That's what we're looking for to kind of end this move. Exhaustion sell, big pro bars possibly coming in, and where's that going to happen? Is that going to happen in the next 80 points or so on the 15-minute chart? Cycles, yep, cycles, they lined up and then we broke through supports into a downtrend, sign of weakness after big things happen at triples. So that's the 15-minute chart, and then the 13,500 chart. So just to remind users of the Beta Pro-Am indicator, here you've got an important setting that we can use, exclude time, set to true. If you're day trading using the Emini charts, set it to true. So that excludes trades between 2:50 and 7:30 in the morning for the calculation of the average trade size. The Emini is unique. I've said this numerous times. The Emini is almost unique in all the futures markets in that last 20 minutes of trade, the average trade size skews super high compared to all other futures markets. And sometimes that distorts the calculations between the close and the open of the next day. And it doesn't properly recalibrate until about an hour after the open of the Emini. So sometimes it's on day trading charts, it's just worth getting rid of those trades that last 15-20 minutes in order to not skew that calculation. So because of that, because we've got that setting on, you can see here that during the day on the Wednesday, because we had Monday off this week, Wednesday's trade, there's the big pro bars kind of coming at the highs, 61.60 up there. We'd had our exhaustion buy bearish divergence in the previous week. We were just working out that cyclical energy, pull back to end of trend, second cyclical turn after end of trend, bang, and then it fails. So in a downtrend, I started on Thursday and then accelerated on Friday. Short covering rally here, creating those exhaustion buy patterns, but no blue professional bars coming at those lows, no exhaustion sell pattern. We've got a negative 9,000 read, but it's got to get up to 25,000 on the way down. So we can have bounce on Monday, first thing, but to end this move on the way down, we need to see the reverse of that. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, big pro bars, and professional activity at the lows and trailing this stop down. There we go, that's the mini. So a little bit of a change in character. I've been very positive on the market just because seemingly we have had good times for the last several months. All of the weak bars have been fairly muted and small range and not doing too much damage. I don't know if Friday this changed things a little bit. We've also seen the 10-year notes and the Japanese yen perk up, and they're important counter-trend markets. Let me just show you those quickly. Here's the Japanese yen. So last week, this is the beginning and the ends of the weeks with the solid yellow vertical lines here. Japanese yen bottomed. I talked, was it last weekend or the weekend before, on the longer time frame charts, just talking about strength in bonds and Japanese yen. Anyway, so we bottomed down here, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, not much in terms of one or two blue professional bars down here, but we broke into an uptrend here. On the weakness, big pro bars come in here, the market keeps going. Doesn't have exhaustion buy, bearish divergence at the highs, doesn't have blue professional bars taking profits here. So it's still an uptrend on Japanese yen. I just wonder if we're going to get another unwind of the Japanese yen carry trade that we had similar to last year, because on the higher time frame charts, Japanese yen is starting to break some levels. So that's important. Then 10-year notes, the same thing, bottomed last week, blue professional bars at the lows here, had a little bit of a bounce, Rambo patterns, blue professional bar here, broke into an uptrend, getting the move going. Yes, some blue professional bars right at the close of the day, which is interesting. We'll trail the stop up. There might be a little counter-trend move there. But on the 30-year bonds, there's not a similar pattern. There's not blue professional bars at the end of the day. So, yeah, that's interesting on those two markets. Euro, I don't know. Difficult to say. We're in an uptrend on the euro. Stair-step trade here. But it's not a classic. Yes, exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence, but no blue professional bars on the lows here. British pound still very strong in an uptrend. No blue professional bars at the highs here. This was getting the move going at that point. British pound has been strongest of the lot, which is again a bit odd. Aussie dollar, yeah, flush patterns up here, but no exhaustion patterns. No blue professional bars at the highs. Yeah, it's weakened at that point there. It's not conclusive for me on those Forex charts what is going on. Gold had some trouble up here, just under 3,000. Exhaustion by bearish divergence, but no blue professional bars on the way up. They're active on the way down here and here and here. So, yep, it's weak at the moment. Maybe we've got to go test a little bit lower to get more blue professional bars. I'm saying that mainly because silver is so weak at the moment. Here's the blue professional bars at the highs. We sold off. It's in a downtrend. The background's in grey. So we've seen no blue professional bars pick it up at the lows yet. So silver is weak. Bitcoin. Bitcoin bounced this week, but then that's the news that came in on Friday with, is it BitBuy, the exchange that got hacked. Ethereum got whacked. Bitcoin not too bad, but the blue professional bars are coming on the retrace here, bouncing off a stair-step trade on the way down. No blue professional bars at the lows or exhaustion sell down here. Crude's interesting because we have had exhaustion sell, blue professional bars come in here, and it's a similar level down at 70s that we bounced from last time, and they weren't taking profits at this point here. They forced it down, so that's interesting for a reversal. Let's see if that happens this week on crude. Natural gas just powers. I mean, I would have thought they were taking profits here, heading down into a downtrend. No, we get a little Rambo pattern, amateur down bars, we just reverse, go the other way. And some blue professional bars, but not a hell of a lot. But here, no exhaustion buys up here. So yeah, copper again kind of keeps on powering through up at these highs. No blue professional bars. We've sunk off here, showing weak at the moment. Let's see if that holds at some point on copper. Corn. Now corn sold off pretty nicely, but a whole bunch of big pro bars coming in here on the way down. We had them on the way down here. We had them on the highs here and selling it down. So are they picking it back up down here at 500 or so? So let's wait and see if that holds this week on corn. Soybeans. Now I had a trade long on soybeans, got taken out on my stop on this one because I saw all these blue professional bars come in here with all this volatility, and I thought, yeah, definitely they're getting involved after having exhaustion patterns. It was odd move selling it down, but then we're breaking up through the highs at that point there, but we've weakened. So I don't know, jury's out on soybeans at the moment, but there's a lot of professional activity there. Lastly, wheat into the highs, big pro bars, Rambo patterns, and we've weakened. We're in a downtrend on wheat at the moment. So there we go. I'm a little bit more pessimistic this week because of the amount of time it's going to take to run out that energy on the intermediate time frame here on the daily chart of the E-mini. And let's see how Monday works out. We could have a little bit of a follow through because big down move on Friday. Amateurs tend to look at their charts on the weekend and it causes a flood of sell orders on the Monday morning. So let's wait and see. For me, it's the blue professional bars whenever they're active, following along 13,500, 4,500, the 1,500 tip bar charts, just following where those blue professional bars crop up and taking the trades in those directions. So hope your trading is going well and looking forward to next week.